What's up, guys? Welcome to the line change. This video, we're going to be going over the goals and expectations for one Filip Hronek in 2025-26. I'm going to also do something a little bit different as well. I'm going to give my prediction or expectation, rather, for Filip Hronek when it comes to goals, assists, and points. So while we are going to talk about what the goals and expectations are in this article and what Canucks Army's goals and expectations are, I'm also going to give my, goals and expectations of my own. Bit of a prediction. So we're going to do that as well. But before I dive into our topic, I want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Gassy Jack Art, maker of that amazing artwork you see there behind my shoulder. And you guys can check them out yourselves at gassjackart.com. You can also check him out on Instagram at gassjackart. There is a link to his website in the description down below. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and check out this article on Canucks Army. And it is written by Corey, who is better known as Canuck News Summaries on X. And he goes on to say, on the surface, Filip Hronek's 2024-25 season was not up to the standard he set since arriving in Vancouver. His counting stats were decent but lower than any of his four previous seasons, and he got dinged for more penalties too. However, upon closer examination, it is revealed that he took numerous challenging assignments with aplomb while away from Quinn Hughes. The right-shot defenseman has had problems staying healthy throughout his career. He was injured when first acquired, injured again in the latter half of his first full season with the team, and played through that injury, and also missed 21 games last season. Staying on the ice and at full capacity has been an issue for him. Still, he finished fourth on the Vancouver Canucks in total ice time among all skaters. Through 61 games, he averaged nearly 24 minutes per game as a true all-situations defender. He averaged 19 minutes at 5v5, 2 minutes and 18 seconds on the penalty kill, and a minute 47 seconds on the power play. No other defenseman on the Canucks was as important in as many different scenarios as Hronek. Scoring 22 points at 5v5 is excellent production for a defenseman. Conversely, his 7 power play points were anemic, especially since he spent nearly 109 minutes there. Frustratingly, his entire power play production consisted of assists, failing to score a goal with the man advantage all season. As a player known for a booming slapshot, that's disappointing. For more advanced stats, he was one of the 2 Canucks defensemen who played over 30 games and had a positive Corsi for percentage. The same goes for expected goals, scoring chance for percentage, high danger chance for percentage, and high danger chances against percentage, while at 5v5. Essentially, regardless of his deployment, the Canucks were usually winning his assignments. The Surly Czech's zone starts were also flat across the board. He wasn't given easy assignments. He had 117 offensive zone starts, 243 neutral zone starts, and 164 defensive zone starts. Where this gets interesting is how this varied depending on his defensive partner. So there is a chart here. I will leave a link to the article in the description down below. But it goes on to say with Quinn Hughes, 51 games played, 605 minute time on ice. A Corsi for percentage was 56.86%. Goal differential was 0. Expected goals for was 5.18. High danger chance percentage was 22. Offensive starts was 124, and defensive starts was 74 with Quinn Hughes and Filip Hronek. With Derek Forbort, 42 games, 149 minutes and 14 seconds. Corsi 4 was 48.48%. Goal differential was -4, and expected goal differential was -1.59. High danger chance percentage high danger was -3, offensive starts 14, defensive starts 37. With Marcus Pettersson, 31 games played, 148 minutes and 31 seconds, 45.68 Corsi, a 6 goal differential, a minus 0.41 expected goal differential, high danger chances -4, offensive starts 11, defensive starts 37. With DPD, 28 games played, 84 minutes and 38 seconds, a Corsi of 54.44, goal differential was 0, expected goal differential was 1.02, high danger chances -1, offensive starts 12, defensive starts 9, and lastly, Tyler Myers, 50 games played, 36 minutes and 18 seconds, Corsi was 53.85%, goal differential was 1, expected goal differential was 1.2, high danger chances was 4, offensive starts was 3, and defensive starts was 5. According to the chart, with Hughes as his partner, they started in the offensive zone 50 more times than in the defensive zone. However, when paired with Derek Forbort or Marcus Pettersson, those numbers are flipped with 49 more defensive zone starts. With that zone start imbalance, Hronek's time away from Hughes, and especially with Marcus Pettersson, was a positive. The Marcus Pettersson-Hronek pairing was given the task as a shutdown unit, taking on heavy matchup minutes, and together they ran a fairly neutral high danger chance and expected goal differential. They achieved this while rolling with a positive actual goal differential. At the very least, Hronek showed that he can be a strong asset away from Hughes when at even strength. It would be a form of, not to mention his role on the third best penalty kill in the NHL. Most commonly sharing the ice with Forbort, Pettersson, and Myers, only 7 goals were scored with him on the ice and paired with any of those 3. The penalty killing duo of Marcus Pettersson and Hronek was imposing, running in expected goals against number of only 3.16, 9 high danger chances against, and only 1 actual goal against are all great underlying numbers and results. The sample size for that pairing is smaller than with his more common partners of Forbort and Myers, but that should not be the case in the upcoming season. Now, let's take a look at what exceeding expectations are for Filip Hronek. To have an exceptional season, the bearded defenseman should crest 30 points at 5v5 and 50 points total. To reach that total, he'll need to be a weapon on the power play. Doing so would lead to a new career high of 10 goals. As always with defensemen, there's far more to their game than points. In Hronek's case, he'll need to drive his own pairing rather than be glued to Hughes' hip. Ideally, this pair is tasked with heavy matchup minutes and wins them. This allows for more even minute distribution between the defensemen and for a Hughes-Hronek tandem to only be used when trailing. Just continuing the late season penalty killing domination would be enough. Losing the key forward cog on the PK and Pius Suter will hurt, but the rest of the group is still there, and Hronek is already one of the most important components of the machine. Finally, just stay healthy. He's only played a complete season once, and that was in the bubble season of 2021. On 2 other occasions, he has played in over 80 games. However, as previously mentioned, he played through injury in the 2023-24 season, despite appearing in a career high of 81 games. For Hronek to have a truly successful season, he needs to be on the ice. Now, let's take a look at what meeting expectations are for Filip Hronek. The path to meet expectations is much easier because that's how his entire endeavor works. For counting stats, maintain his usual mid-20s 5v5 point production and hover in the high 30s for overall points. Contribute more to the power play. Doesn't need to set a career high, but scoring at least 1 goal would be a vast improvement and should be expected. As for his deployment, alternating between Hughes and another partner would be massively beneficial for the team in both the short and long term. Everyone is well aware of how dominant the Hughes-Hronek pairing is, but siphoning time away to form an effective shutdown tandem with Marcus Pettersson or mentoring young Elias Pettersson would be a boon. Continuing to do what he and Hughes have done in the last 2 seasons is the floor, but keeping his head above water with different partners on a more frequent basis will lead to a more balanced minutes distribution and hopefully scoring throughout the lineup. The penalty count numbers should drop given how outstanding the results were last season. They should remain very good overall and be a key component there. Please just find a way to stay healthy. Maybe asking for an entire season is too much, but playing 70 games or more would be crucial for the team. Now let's take a look at what failing to meet expectations are for Filip Hronek. Part of not meeting expectations would have him hit low 20s, 5v5 points, and not contribute any offense in other situations. Not finding a way to utilize his powerful shot, and thereby leaving the second unit without an important weapon, is a failing not just on the player, but on his teammates and the whole power play scheme. As has been harped on in this writing several times, the righty needs to spend more time away from Hughes and generate positive results while doing so. The flexibility that would provide is invaluable throughout the season. And if he's just attached to Hughes, there's far less reliable puck-moving ability in the other defensive pairings. If Hronek is failing to meet expectations, it will assuredly be because he hasn't been able to stay healthy. Suiting up in under 60 games and playing through an injury, or perhaps even multiple injuries, would severely hamper his effectiveness. Filip Hronek is the Canucks' best two-way defenseman. No one plays as much at even strength or both special teams as he does. He's not the biggest player on the ice, but he plays angry and with purpose. If he's having a successful season, then the Canucks will as well, since he's seemingly on the ice at every opportunity. So those are the goals and expectations from Canucks Army for Filip Hronek. Now, as far as my own, having read that, I'm going to go ahead and say Filip Hronek is going to meet expectations, or he's just going to be hovering between meeting and exceeding expectations. That's where I have Filip Hronek for myself, and I'm going to go ahead and say he gets 8 goals and 45 assists for 53 points, which would be a career high for points, a career high in assists, but I don't think he's going to hit a career high in goals. His highest goal total is 9 from actually when he was still with the Red Wings. Let me just quickly pull that up real quick. Where's share screen right here? There we go. Boom. All right. There. I think you get to see that. So as you can see, last season with the Canucks, 61 games, 5 goals, 28 assists, 33 points. Year before that, he had a career high in points with 48, career high in assists with 43, and then 5 goals. And then as you can see down here in 2022-23, he played 60 games, 9 goals, 29 assists, 38 points in his last season in Detroit. So that was the most goals he's scored in his career. He's actually scored 9 goals twice with the Red Wings, but he has not been able to get to double digits. I don't think this upcoming season is going to be the start of that. So that is why I'm saying he's going to have 8 goals, 45 assists, and be good for 33. Or no. Sorry. What am I saying? 53. Good for 53 points. So, I want to know what you guys think. What are your goals and expectations for Filip Hronek this upcoming season? Do you guys agree with me that he's going to hit just under 10 goals? He's going to get only 8 goals, but he's going to have a career high in assists. Do you guys think he's going to be playing a lot with Quinn Hughes? Or do you think the Canucks are actually going to separate the two for a longer. Granted, they did it a bit last season, but do you think it's going to be even more this upcoming season? Do you think that they're going to have Filip Hronek play with someone else and basically, like what Corey said in this article, have Hronek, detached from Quinn Hughes and maybe keep that pairing of Filip Hronek and Marcus Pettersson? Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. And as always, if you guys like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Sorry. And if you want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks content, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video. You can find and interact with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook. Just search The Line Change to find our Facebook page. You can find us on Instagram at The Line Change. You can find us on X at Line Change Van. You can find us on TikTok at the TLC Podcast. And feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. If you prefer a audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcast. On Spotify, feel free to give us a follow, as well as rate and review us. It is, of course, greatly appreciated and really helps out the podcast. But that's going to do it for me in this video. As always, let's go Canucks, and I'll see you guys in the next video.